All right, welcome everyone to the unofficial Sunday night hangout of the Pair Crew. Well, part of the Pair Crew. Good evening, everyone. I'm Dave Cruz, your trusted engineer and producer of Beyond the Strange and whatever else is to come. I have Gigi of Shift Happens joining us tonight, as well as the new host and captain of the ship of Beyond the Strange, Russ Bailey. How you guys doing? It's going. Just had a little bit of an itch. Wanted to get on the stream. It's been a while. Just kind of been working my ass off and doing other stuff and trying to catch up around the house, and in between I'm trying to get some rest too. What's up, James? CMJ. Also, we have over in the YouTube chat, we have Mike Jordan, and see Dave Cruz is over there too. Oh, everywhere. Fucking A. Damn, everything just jumped up all of a sudden. People just started to pop in. Got this shit popping tonight. Oh, there you go. That's why. So, anyways, yeah, right. Welcome everybody. This is just a real chill. If you can't tell by the theme music in the background, we're just kicking back, shooting the shit, talking about stuff, what's on our mind, catching up. No sound for anyone but you, Dave. Oh, okay. Maybe I'll fix that by pressing that. There we go.
Yay.
Ladies and gentlemen, I do have Gigi and Russ next to me on both sides of the screen. Yo, crazy busy work listening. Hey, Night Stalker, what's up, man? Good to see you. Got to be crushing it in the aisles. Jesus, we got seven folks in YouTube. Right on. People are just trickling in. It's good to see you guys. Wow, I really wish I had something worth talking about besides just kind of shooting the shit about everything that's been going on, which really hasn't been anything different. I mean, you know, we still have all the same UFO bullshit that they've been trying to shove down our throats, you know, with all the secrecy and everything like that. Yeah, I just got off the phone with a friend of mine, Jerry Cthulhu. He's on Twitter. You can find him under @LuciFurious. And we hadn't talked in a while. We caught up a little bit, talking a lot about this bullshit with the big V, the cerveza bug sickness. Don't want to say anything that's going to kick us off anytime soon, because that seems to be the hot topic. Of course, it's always the hot topic. The jab is also the hot topic. I'll be surprised if we still stay on the air if we talk about the jab, but you know what? That's okay. We can talk about it. But what I really want to talk about, and Russ, I understand that you enjoyed Masters of the Universe. I would too. I really enjoyed the first half of the first episode of the new Masters of the Universe. And it quickly just went to shit right after the second half. It just started, man. I was like, oh my God, what the F are they doing?
Yeah, it's kind of like a, I guess you could say like a what if scenario. You know, almost like an Elseworlds. But it was cool seeing some of the characters that, you know, figures that were only released in like the Mattel premium line or whatever it was. But animation looked good in it though.
No, the animation is actually fantastic. Amazing improvement from even the first reboot they tried to do.
Yeah.
And that reboot was actually pretty good. I mean, am I right? They did try to do a first reboot, or was that the Thundercats one?
They did Thundercats and Masters of the Universe. And I'll say this: it seems like it's a big woke movement for Masters of the Universe, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I definitely know what you mean. And damn, I just did it again. I was clicking on the screen for the browser here, and for all of you guys who don't know what I'm talking about with this woke culture, I actually have it in the screen over here. I don't know if you guys can see it or not. Let me get this thing moved up a little bit.
Yeah, it's like woke cancel culture.
It's kind of weird. It's kind of weird because they're saying that in this woke culture, the woke as a political term of African American origin refers to a perceived awareness of issues concerning social justice and racial justice. It is derived from the African American vernacular English expression "stay woke," whose grammatical aspect refers to a continuing awareness of these issues. I think it's more than that. I don't know. Let's get Gigi's opinion.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I didn't really hear like, obviously there's a lot of lame enough stuff out there. People like, yo, fucking hashtag woke, and they just say some stupid shit, right? I didn't know, never quite heard the term anti-woke. Like, I don't know, does that mean, like, I don't know, what does that mean? What is anti-woke? Just, is it worse? Is it more? I don't know.
I don't even know if that's real. I mean, I just kind of put a hashtag and put anti-woke on there.
Because it could be, because in one sense it could mean, like I just said, calling out some of the douchebaggery being said out there on kinds of social media and stuff under the name woke.
Right. And that's what I'm getting at.
Hard.
Yeah. I'm getting at that kind of shit, but like, I guess it's just the fuckery that you talk about, especially like in entertainment in Hollywood right now.
Yeah.
It's killing me, dude. It's fucking killing me. Okay, so Russ knows what I'm talking about with this Masters of the Universe thing. Most people remember He-Man and the Masters of the Universe as a kid growing up watching that. Do you remember that, Gigi?
I do not. I mean, I've never seen it. No.
It's a little before his time.
Oh, there's plenty of reruns. I mean, they're, you have you ever even heard of it?
I've definitely heard of it, yeah, but I've never seen a single anything of it. I think. I don't know. I think that name rings a bell.
Really quick, I just want to welcome Jennifer. Thank you for joining us tonight. And dear APS Len Dorman.
No.
So,
I mean,
yes.
If it
he
helps,
has an anti-woke.
Basically, I was born right before the Sega Genesis came out, if that gives you a better perspective on what I may or may not know.
No, that's... Thank you for putting that date on there. Dear K, he has anti-woke as not paying attention to anything, especially the news. Yeah, that's a good way to put it, because the news is a bunch of shit too. So
right.
Thank you for concurring there, Russ. And now his GF was kind of hot for a cartoon. Would that be She-Ra, or are we talking about Teela? Because I got a surprise for you. Spoiler alert. They basically made this whole thing a feminist thing with with this Masters of the Universe. So yeah, we're gonna talk a little shit about this, and Kevin Smith can go. I don't know, Gigi, you know what I was about to say.
You mean the Kevin Smith from
Yes.
Clerk and okay. Oh, I didn't know
Yeah,
he
he-
did a shitty thing.
Yeah,
Usually
he
his stuff is awesome.
he
He
redid
produced
this.
it.
Well, sometimes he is, but this time this is not cool.
Yeah, I don't. This is all. Yeah, let's hear it. I don't know anything about this.
It's like he appeased, the corporate fucking quo, not the status quo, but the corporate fucking quo, if that's a thing, because he made this whole woke fucking He-Man Master of the Universe bullshit. Now, granted, I haven't seen the whole series, but I watched the first episode, which was enough to tell me this shit is bullshit, and I saw the direction right away where they were going. Maybe Russ can help me out a little bit, because Russ actually
Yeah.
saw the whole series. So what's your take
All
on
right,
this shit?
Well, I'm not going to spoil anything, but I did like the ending of it. The ending was kind of cool, the way everything came together, and leads into part 2. So, looking forward to that. Was a little bit of feminist. I mean, you have pretty much you got Tila, who is now gay. You have Andra, your token black girl, and you have Evil Lynn. And then you also have Orko, which is I always liked Orko, but I mean it's more like turn the show into She-Ra, Princess of Power, than it's He-Man. It I don't know. It's very feministic.
Right.
You know what I'm guessing happened is good old Kevin Smith there. He's watching everybody get Me Too to left and right, and he was like, let's go ahead and get in front of this thing and make something like this so nobody gets mad at him for God knows what he's got in his closet. He's been in Hollywood just as long as anybody else you can name, so
Yeah, I mean, I could kind of see that, or he just jumped on the whole woke bandwagon to make a buck.
Probably.
yeah, that's probably
I mean, he needs to go back to making Comic Book Men, which is probably one of my favorite shows of all time. And, that got canceled. But, he needs to focus on that instead of this work culture bullshit.
Yeah, there was nothing wrong with that show. They totally
That show was great.
That was like one of the geekiest, nerdiest comic book, universe type shows they ever was, and it was great for people who watch that stuff and who love comic books and who love Marvel and DC and all that stuff. But when he did this thing, this to me, this just doesn't make sense to me. But James comes in, James Salcedo and the Salcedo Media and the Twitch chat says, I don't understand when they change characters, races, or other major things like that. That has always bothered me. Like when movies change the race of a character to be more diverse, they could just easily take characters of the race they want to feature and use them instead of changing existing characters. Sorry, not sorry, laugh out loud. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Is another example, not because I don't want anyone thinking I'm bashing on the whole LGBT community or anything like that. You got DC who at first wanted to reboot Superman and Clark Kent, not just Superman in a different universe, but Superman and Clark Kent. They wanted to make them black.
I'm
And-
just surprised. Oh, go ahead.
But no, go ahead. What were you gonna say?
I'm just surprised that racism is still a thing and that people are
Yep.
actually constantly looking for things to complain about being racist when they're not really. I mean, like Russ was saying, like, hey, the character was, he was a white guy, or maybe he was Japanese. That's like, imagine going into Beverly Hills Ninja and replacing Robin's show with some Jamaican guy. You know, like I'm sure it'd be cool. It's just like that's not the whole point of the movie, though. This guy's supposed to be an Asian martial artist. That's the whole, you know. There's that. So it's really interesting to me. I mean, I'm really fascinated. I don't know if fascinated is the right word. I just think it's ridiculous that racism is still a thing. Like, it's 2021. We're all fucking here. We're all part of this world. It's kind of crazy to me that there's still racist people out there. And then you get into the whole cultural appropriation thing, which I think, you know, there's some instances where it's like, okay, maybe. But for the most part, you know, Bill Burr had a good bit. He's like, well, you don't see skateboarders getting mad at anybody else for skateboarding. That was invented by a white trash kid with a mullet in Venice Beach. You know, nobody complains if anybody else skateboards, you know, like, just gotta be, I don't know. I think people are just, this crazy world we live in, people are just looking for stuff to, whether subconsciously or, you know, full-blown consciously, looking for stuff to get upset at. It's like, man, there's no time for that. There's no time for that. And let's just move on. Let's just move on, you know?
Well, that would be great if there wasn't racism in everything. And, you know, and that, what I mean by that is, you know, we could make all right, for instance, today I saw in Santa Cruz, California, a Black Lives Matter monument, tribute, whatever you want to call it. It basically said Black Lives Matter in big letters on the road. You know, kind of like a mural, I guess. Some people took some tires, and I don't know if they painted it or what, but they basically made tire tracks all over the mural, which in my opinion, I don't agree with that. I think that's, for one thing, you know, if it's a mural, it's artistic, it's expression, it's, you know, you got the freedom of expressing yourself. That is, you know, definitely important in our society. And I think that's wrong. They deface something that they shouldn't have done. However, on the same token, why is it, and by the way, these guys got arrested. And then in the tweet, and in a tweet, somebody tweeted the people's faces so everybody would know what they look like, who they are, probably so they can go over there and burn their houses down and beat the shit out of them or something. You know what I'm saying? Right. So that's not right, in my opinion. Now, what I was getting at is, what did we see all last year during the whole George Floyd thing? We saw vandalism, we saw fires, we saw riots, we saw businesses burnt to the ground. We saw all kinds of shit. Why is that okay?
Yeah, and you know what else we've seen? We've seen more violence and hate and racism since Biden went in office and Trump's gone.
Yeah, I mean, I really could, you know, care. I can give two shits about who's in office, right. But you know, that's something totally different. But I know what you're saying. I agree. Yeah. You know, it either hasn't changed or gotten worse. You know, which it looks like it clearly has. You know, it's getting back to that whole, you know, the Superman thing, because like you said, I don't want to just leave it as an LGBT thing. I'm not. That's not what I'm trying to get at all. It's just the fact that, like James said, why can't things just be left the way they are? If you want to reboot something, then reboot it. Like, totally reboot it. Get a different character. Create a different look. Create, you know, a different name. Instead of, you know, fucking with my memories or with history, you know, growing up. You know, I don't know. That's kind of what I'm getting at. Do you have any comments on that, Gigi, at all?
Well, I mean, yeah, I'm right there with you. But you just reminded me of something that I'm probably never going to remember again. So I might as well tell people now. And a
Yeah.
very interesting thing to look up is I don't know if you guys have heard of the rise of the Moors or the Moorish Americans. Um, Probably not, because they've shushed it up quite a bit in the mainstream media. They just had a big situation earlier this month. Um, it's, but if you look it up on Google or Firefox, nothing. The only thing that's going to pull up is, oh, these crazy people that think they have some claim to this land or whatever just got arrested and they're all evil and stupid. But if you use something like DuckDuckGo, or if any of you guys are familiar with the dark web and know where to go once you get there, it's interesting to hear their side of the story. There's this whole, I don't know, just look it up. I think some of you guys would be pretty fascinated about how it's it's not even about their specific cause. It's the more interesting part is how hushed up they've been in all forms of media, even though they were making quite a ruckus all over social media. Of course, you think Alex Jones is banned from everything. I mean, there's this whole you could basically call it a nationality of people that found this. There's technically a loophole in the Constitution and what makes a state, and what makes these people actually technically legally have a right. They own. There's some land here that's actually theirs, and just kind of in the same way we just sort of not we, but the European settlers just sort of came over here and just kick fucked all the Native Americans off their own land, kind of thing. Like, well, the same kind of thing happened to them, and they're just very peacefully like, hey, like, can you like leave us alone? Like, we don't mean any harm. And it's just interesting how especially if you look it up on Google, they just make these guys look like the craziest, stupidest people in the world, which who knows, they might be. But from what I've seen, they've actually they got some points. And it's interesting how as long as law enforcement and whoever's in charge is embedded with the mainstream media, they can make anybody, no matter how good of their point is, no matter how peaceful they are, no matter what, they can just villainize you and make everyone, all it takes is one mainstream story, even if it's completely wrong, it's completely bullshit, that's the one that everybody sees. So from that point forward, the first time, any other time they think of it, they're going to be like, oh yeah, that's that thing they said was bullshit, but yeah, just something to look into. The Moorish Americans, rise of the Moors, as they call them, Moor. I don't know, I've been kind of fascinated with that this last few weeks.
Oh, I've heard of it. I mean, I think we've even talked about that before too. But yeah, that's bullshit. And this is I don't know. Like I said, it's like since I've spent more time in my head than actually, trying to express my thoughts over the air more recently. It's just like I've been seeing things so much, differently now. It's just crazy. I mean, everything's going to this. I'm not trying to even say, that women don't deserve any, to become better than men or how you ever want to, say it or anything like that. I mean, you got like the women's soccer team and, in the Olympics and, I think they kick more ass than the guys team, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's like, it's not even about that shit. And Night Stalker says these things just don't upset me at all. Haha, I wouldn't do them if I was the directors, but I'm not losing any sleep over it. Yeah, right. And that's the thing is I get that. But what I'm trying to say is if you grew up with something and somebody is fucking with that, that's where I have a problem. That's the only reason why I'm kind of bringing that up.
Oh yeah, I agree.
Because it's like what Michael said in the in the YouTube chat. It's all the agenda of erasing history and trying to change things for, I don't know, whatever narrative that these new world, whatever you want to call them, new world order assholes, elites, whatever, trying to do to change and pervert society. That's that's all I could say. I know it probably sounds crazy saying that shit, but that's just how I feel. CMJ says diversity is great, but it's so forced and at the expense of something else. But that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I agree. And it's like, to me, it's almost like a lot of these like different cultures, so to speak, they're almost like cults, to each their own, in my opinion, but don't try to force your beliefs on me. I don't, I don't force my beliefs on anybody else. Don't force it on me. I mean, that's what I'm getting at, and that shit needs to stop.
Well, I think one sort of brick wall that's been hit when it comes to back to the LGBT. I think there's like 17 more syllables now at the end of that, but where it really, I just saw Tony Hinchcliffe do a whole set about this the other day, and talking about there's this one he was a real, mildly kind of successful MMA fighter. Like, I don't know, didn't do too good, right? But he was in there. He had some fights, right? Then all of a sudden, he didn't get a sex change or anything. All you have to do is say, "Oh, I identify as a woman now." So next thing you know, they let him in a cage fight with another woman because he identifies, as a woman.
As a woman.
And spoiler alert, he beat the shit out of her. And that's kind of, even just down to physiology. I mean, males typically, we have bigger lung capacity. We recover muscle, overused muscles quicker, just bigger, strong. It's not fair. Like, I understand, like there's a difference there between equality and other things, but then trying to pretend like a man that just says that he's a woman beating the shit out of a woman isn't exactly what it is. It's just a man beating the shit out of a woman. Like like there's a line in the sand somewhere there.
Yeah,
and I think that crossed it. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I mean, it's trans, they shouldn't compete in other sports, and they should compete maybe against other transgender. I don't know, man.
That's an option. Yeah,
that is an option.
Gender league.
Yeah,
that's another option.
Yeah, I mean, they could do that.
I agree with that. Now it should. Look, I mean, people can make a case for, men could be stronger than women physically. You get the strongest man and the strongest woman, put them up against each other. I don't know what would happen, but I kind of have an idea. Just because of our physical makeup that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, and there's nothing politically incorrect about it. That's
just science,
physiology facts.
Exactly.
It's like pitting a. You know what? I'm just gonna quit while I'm ahead. Yeah.
No, man. Hey, look, if you can't discuss that kind of shit again, this isn't like Facebook or any other fucking social media that's gonna be bringing our shit down. I'm not trying to be like that. I mean, if you got an opinion, matter of fact, I'm opening up the phone line. if you want to call in and
Oh boy.
call me an asshole, whatever you want to do, I don't care. Give me your thoughts. I mean, 415-891-9083 is the phone number. Russ always beats me to it. That number is also good in the YouTube chat. I don't know if you want to do that there too, Russ, or if you want me to.
Yeah,
do
I got it. I got it.
He's on it. Russ is always on it. That's why he's the new captain.
Man, I miss having two screens, man. I've got all three chat rooms squished in on one screen somehow.
I got my two screens up for sure. And I got, what is it? TweetDeck on right now too. But really quick, let's go over to the magic of Twitch that it is and play some of this Masters of the Universe according to a person by the name of the Critical Drinker. If that doesn't give you a hint of the way he's gonna just bash the shit out of this thing, I don't know what will. But just check it out really quick.
No.
It's one of the unavoidable truths of our time that when you play shitty games, you win shitty prizes. And truly, there's few men in today's entertainment landscape better versed in playing the shitty Hollywood spin game than the withered, deflated husk that was once Kevin Smith. When he's not pretending to cry like a little girl at inconsequential Star Wars movies, or shamelessly shilling for every major studio willing to throw him a few crumbs of attention, he's desperately bullshitting his way through writing gigs for high-profile TV shows. Like Masters of the Universe Revelation, an animated continuation of the classic 1980s He-Man show, featuring a bunch of big burly muscle men with very few clothes, sword fighting in front of a castle shaped like a giant skull. Hey, it was a more innocent time, okay? A time when grown men could hug each other on the beach, and elderly gentlemen could hang around with teenage boys without everyone automatically assuming the worst. Anyway, Masters of the Universe was pure 1980s cheese designed mostly to sell action figures, but you couldn't help but love it for its colourful mix of characters, surprisingly intelligent writing, and sheer over-the-top bravado. Shit man, I'm old enough to remember it the first time around, and along with Thundercats and G.I. Joe, it was basically compulsory Saturday morning viewing for me. But the thing about once popular franchises is that sooner or later, the financially and creatively diminished forces of Hollywood will sink their claws into it. So when a modern revival slash reboot slash sequel was announced last year, everyone was pretty fucking nervous about it. Especially when Clownfish TV broke the insider scoop that the show was going to be all about Teela, featuring the usual selection of female empowerment tropes, and that He-Man himself was barely going to be mentioned in it. Kevin Smith himself was quick to step in and shoot down this rumour, and when the trailer for the show first dropped, the heavy emphasis on He-Man doing his usual heroic stuff seemed to put people's minds at ease. And then we actually saw it.
You promised not to hurt them! I lied!
Revelation is everything that people feared it would be and much, much more. A 5-episode hatchet job that gleefully deconstructs pretty much everything good about the classic show, relegates He-Man himself to a background piece of lore, turns everyone else into unlikable assholes, and reduces every single male character into a pathetic, cowardly, obedient whipping boy, constantly pushed around and upstaged by their empowered, strong, arrogant female counterparts. So basically,
okay, let me stop right there because first of all, I really don't want to go through this whole thing. You guys get the idea. It's called The Critical Drinker on YouTube, and you can, go to his channel and check that out. But
Critical Drinker.
The Critical Drinker instead of the Critical Thinker. That's kind of where I'm thinking he's going that way. Critical Drinker.
Yeah. I will say this about the new Masters of the Universe show. I did like how they did Scareglow. Scareglow was pretty awesome. And I don't know if you've got to that episode yet, Dave, but it's
full of fun, aren't they?
Yeah. I like how they did him.
And I would just like to take this moment to give out the award for comment of the night. Out of all 3 chat rooms, it goes to Night Stalker because he said, "Give me some lesbian action." Absolutely. So congratulations, Night Stalker. We'll send you some lesbian action directly in your mailbox.
Absolutely.
There you go.
Absolutely. No, I'm again, this is why I do this show now. This is part of the show. And by the way, guys, just to let you know, we will still be doing BTS on YouTube and Twitch. It's just going to be under a different name, and we're still working on all that stuff. It'll be BTS under a different channel. We'll put it that way. Yeah. So BTS will be one of the shows, but it'll be under a different name channel, and that's going to go with.
So you're starting like a network, basically, like a.
I mean, I'm just trying to change things up a little bit, and I actually want to do my own podcast, like my own podcast, where I'm just like talking about stuff, and that's what I was saying. I was gonna do some like pre-recorded videos about things that I'm researching and put it out there, like 5 or 6 minutes, really quick shit, and just put that under the same channel, but it's not going to be BTS. It'll just be me talking about stuff.
Right. So BTS will be one of the things under the umbrella of what's about to be created. So
yep.
That's good. Hopefully you don't invite the actual BTS. If you can even call them a band.
For their genre, man. I mean, I guess they're like great for what they do, but that's not for me.
They do what, Gangnam Style?
That's like being good at shoveling shit. Like, yeah, I guess you're good at it, but I don't want to see it.
Tell us what you really think, Gigi. No, it's great. I think your honesty is refreshing.
But you know what's, I think, very, we should probably point this out, that Beyond the Strange are BTS. Beyond the Strange was way before. That was a thing already before these.
Well, the BTS thing was, yeah.
Before these LGBTQ South Korean kids came out. You know what I mean?
I don't know what they are. I just, hey, I do know that they make a lot of money.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure they do. And
BTS may have been BTS before BTS, but these guys took their BTS to a whole new level. So that's all I have to say about that. Hey, Pat's here, the elf. What's going on, brother?
Yeah, so is Dan James, all the way from
Australia. Dan James, right on.
Yeah,
awesome. And Brad Packstack is in Discord, I believe. I don't know if anyone's hanging out there or not, but the hangout is truly here in the Twitch chat room and in the YouTube chat room. So, I mean, if you want to hang out in Discord, that's cool too. I'm just not in there right now. I don't know who else is, but yeah, I mean, if anyone has a comment, they want to call in just to say what's going on, whatever, 415-891-9083 is the phone number. It's in the chat. Once again, 415-891-9083. Russ Bailey is clearly on it tonight. And as he really is in the Spreaker chat. Am I right there, Gigi, for Shift Happens? He's usually number 1.
Shit, we have Spreaker chat happening too?
Dude, no. I mean, for your show.
Yeah, he goes back and forth from the Fringe FM to Spreaker. He just, talking about Elfman, right?
No, I was talking about Russ being,
Russ
being first.
Okay.
Yeah. It's usually K28, but Russ is beaten a couple times.
Russ did beat K at least once, if
right.
not
a couple times actually.
I think a couple of times, right? Yeah,
I think so. Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
We got a phone call, guys. Let's see let's see who's on the line. You're live on this show.
It better be Elfman.
What's up, guys?
Pat.
Elfman.
All right, man. I got a total answer for all the gender and race bullshit. You ready?
Yes.
Lay it on me.
And if nobody agrees with this, then you're for racism and genderism, man.
Okay.
Okay? Okay? I'm getting ready to lay it out here, dude. It's so fucking simple. No one gets it. From
Does
now
this have
on,
something
all
to do with
commercials,
Kentucky Fried Chicken?
all commercials, and all sports, everything, man, done with stick figures.
But you got to put boobs on the stick figures.
No. Stick figure, man. There's no gender. Just a stick figure. That's it.
He has a point.
That way nobody can bitch about it being black, white, nothing. Can't bitch about nothing. And then sports on TV, same thing. They take the live action people off, man, and there's going to have to be some cartoon jar to draw it, whatever. And it's all done with stick figures. There's your answer, dude.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Otherwise,
oh, go ahead.
Oh, all I was going to say, man, is that's the final answer for everything. And if people don't agree with it, then they're for all the bullshit. Because I want to stop the fighting. So let's stop fighting. Everything's stick figures. And when they do statistics, it's stick figures. That's it.
Night Stalker
No
just
male,
chimed
female,
in
nothing.
the chat saying unrealistic body goals. They'll say
We probably will.
Oh, yeah.
Well, right there, that shows you. All they want to do is just constant division. That's it, dude. That's all it is.
Yeah.
And it really is his answer for everything. The other day, I had some problems with my engine in my car, and I called Pat, and he was like, dude, stick figures. And
stick figures.
There you go, man.
I love it. Stick figures. No, that is a great answer to this problem.
And Carl just chimed in also, CMJ in the Twitch chat, saying stick figures are offensive to anorexic people.
Oh,
yeah, well,
look what you done did now, Elf.
No, man. Here, let me throw this back at you now.
Okay.
When you sit there and start perceiving something else than besides a stick figure, then that just shows you're the one with the issue.
Right.
Because all I see is a stick figure. It's not skinny. It's not fat. It's perfect in its own way.
True.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. That is totally freaking hilarious.
It's really, if it has to get down to that level, things have gotten pretty bad. That's all I have to say. I mean, it's
More
just
people could just grow the fuck up.
It's stupid.
It's like I said, people need to quit getting so butthurt. And that's what's wrong with society now. It's a spare the rod, spoil the child thing growing up. All these new age millennials. That's what the issue is.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think if anybody is offended by any of this, here's what you should do: is go watch an episode of Kill Tony, or better yet, on August 16th, you can come meet up with us and the Anti Crew. We're gonna go see Kill Tony live, and either one of two things are gonna happen. It's either going to be the funniest shit you've ever seen, or you're going to be heavily offended within about 5 seconds. And if you're in the latter, that means you're the problem. You need to figure out how to take a fucking joke, or just, just don't get butthurt the next time somebody adds a couple of boobs on a stick figure. You know what I mean? Just come on, folks. It's time. It's past time. It's 2021. It's almost 2020. Well, I mean, we're halfway to 2022, and we could be going to Mars. We could be building bases on the moon, but instead, we're all concerned about tits on stick figures.
I'm not going near that dick rocket. Sorry.
I will say this. If you do anything this week, go see the new Snake Eyes movie. It's freaking awesome.
That looks good.
And I thoroughly enjoyed it. If you're a big fan of G.I. Joe, you'll love this movie. It was really cool. Love it.
Do you say stink eye or stank eye?
Snake Eyes.
Oh, snake eye. Okay.
Not the snake, not the stink eye. What are you thinking?
Stank eye.
Yeah. Yeah, no, Pat, this is just to go back a little bit. and like Night Stalker says, this was all because we're butthurt about He-Man. Technically that it's my bitch tonight about that, because of the whole woke issues that are happening in this new version of Masters of the Universe. I don't know if you grew up with them or not.
Oh yeah, man. I watched all that stuff. I've always been into cartoons. I was watching Japanimation before most people were.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you mean anime, or is Japanimation a different category?
We used to call it Japanimation. When I was younger, we called it Japanimation. Like Ninja Scroll, everybody loves that, but there was a lot of stuff before that, I had friends that were into Godzilla and all that, so, when I was younger, we did the comics, we did all that stuff, That's why I laugh at all these movies now. I'm like, man, that's not going off the comic. That's bullshit.
Yeah, I actually ran into someone who did not like the new Godzilla versus King Kong. I'm sure there's people out there who didn't like it. But, I liked it. I thought it was good.
Yeah, it was good. There were some things in it that were a little rushed, but you can't. There was a lot you had to condense in that movie. There was just a lot going on.
Yeah, I don't watch the new stuff too much, man. I'm more old school on my Godzillas and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
nothing beats the original King Kong versus Godzilla. If we're going by like comparisons, I did like the new movie, but I still prefer the original. The Showa era will always be my favorite, and the Heisei era.
Yeah, I did the old Ultramans.
Loved Ultraman.
Those were good.
Yeah.
You guys ever watch them?
Great stuff.
Yeah, Ultraman was awesome. There was also
Johnny
Sokko and his giant robot.
Space
Giants. Oh, that was great.
Yeah.
Now, there's a great family, gender neutral type show because it had women robot rockets, children robot rockets, different color robot rockets.
Yeah. I will say this though. Probably my favorite Japanese TV show way back when would have to be Spectre Man. That was just a great show.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Love that show. I used to come home from kindergarten and watch it every day. It used to come on TBS and dude, love that show.
Jesus, how long?
Yeah, I like all the old stuff, but right now, man, I got that conflict going inside because there was just no diversity in it back then, and it just really kind of hurts. Should have been some white people, some Mexicans in all them.
Yeah, there was too many Japanese people in it, right?
Let's get real. We need diversity, man. We need to redo all this stuff.
If only woke was woke back then.
The only way you're going to get to a one world government is get rid of all that stuff.
Oh, they're working on it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I know. That's my sarcasm for you right there.
They're working on getting rid of the carbon-based problem. That's for sure.
I will tell you one thing though, and I've told people this a long time ago, and of course I was crazy. Pay attention to commercials, and you'll see where they're driving people. Because I know I'm going to piss some people off, but whatever. All I'm saying is, pay attention to your commercials, because if you notice right now, it seems like all the commercials I see now, it's always a white guy with a black woman, as a couple. Or then you see the gay people together. Or you see, it's always a mixed thing. Or it's a new gender. You know what I'm saying? Pay attention.
Welcome to woke.
Very seldom do you see like an all-white commercial, an all-black commercial. Well, unless you're watching Bet. Or, anything like that,
Or unless you live in Texas. But yeah, another thing to pay attention to is all these people that are paying to go up into space. Take a wild guess what type of people all of those people are, and how many not any other people are doing that. There's another one to look into.
Yeah, I always get a kick out of that. They try to get everybody all happy about, "Yeah, we're sending people into space. Isn't this great?" And they're getting everybody wound up. And you're like, "Yeah, but it's a millionaire doing that, dude. Why would I get excited? I'm never going to be up there. Fuck him."
Straight up.
Man, dude,
I'm
yeah. I
talking
wonder. JP should be here for this one.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know.
He's missing out on a
I
good
mean,
conversation.
I think
I'm
we've
all about
heard,
calling a spade, you know, and that's not in a black way, you know.
No, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Didn't Jeff Bezos just step down from like everything
Amazon?
from Amazon and all the things that he's known for? Right before he's about to go to did he go to space? That happened the other day, didn't it?
That's what I was talking about, the dick rocket. His rocket was in the shape of a penis.
Well, I mean, that shouldn't be too surprising. You know, men designed the rockets, and you know,
What does that have to do with it?
they want to make a good impression. You know,
That's
look at this
right.
hog. Here we come.
Well, talking about, overcompensating for something, Bezos must have something to fucking prove. Whatever. But
A tiny little man with a massive rocket.
a
Yeah.
big rocket, a really, really big rocket. That's true. I saw a meme the other day too that shows that he's actually the real Dr. Evil. Pretty funny.
Now I can see that.
Dragon Rose just showed up in the middle of my stupid dick joke. Yeah, no, I promise you, this was going better the rest of the time. You just picked a bad time to come in. But welcome to the show.
Thanks, Dragon Rose. Yeah, it's that kind of a show tonight. It's really just, it wasn't supposed to be planned at all. It was just something to just say what up to everybody and just, let everyone know that we're all still alive and hanging out here in the BTS universe. So we're just kind of chilling, doing life. But next month, we got a couple of things happening. We got the ladies coming back, Lisa and Astro Lunatic Susan, and that's going to be a really good show for the charts. They're going to be sweet coming back doing those. I love those charts, man. They're just fascinating. They're really amazing, and accurate. And I really believe in that. I really do. So that's going to be cool. I have talked to, I'm losing it. Terry Lovelace, who I had on BTS show. Amazing story with Terry and the Devil's Den. That's a great story. Kind of reminds me of the Travis Walton thing, but what's going on with Travis Walton anyway? I'm hearing that they're trying to debunk him and shit. Is that? I mean, I know they always are trying, but there's like something really major going on.
Years, but
maybe we talk a little ufology here, but go ahead.
Yeah,
guys.
somebody was talking shit about Travis Walton, how he faked it all, but it's not true. Travis Walton is 100% legit.
Yeah,
I believe his story 100%.
Yeah, I mean,
If I'm not mistaken, it was one of the guys that he kind of got into it with that was in his little group of people and kind of made it up.
Right.
Yeah.
Because he felt like he should have been more in the movie and he should have been, more into all this. Jealousy.
Yeah. Well, I
It's
know
all
he's.
this.
I can't wait to see because the original movie that they made, right? I forgot what it's called, but it's
Fire
about
in
the
the
whole
Sky.
Travis Walton thing. Travis Walton was very lividly disappointed in what they misquoted all kinds of stuff. They misled people into thinking this and that. It was a total not. It was just not at all what the story was.
The story was totally changed.
That's what I'm saying. So now he's in the process. Last I talked to him briefly, but I know a couple of people have talked to him since. He's actually I think he's already got a deal, and they're currently working on, putting out the correct movie about it, and it should be coming out. I want to say next year. I know the whole COVID thing kind of set the whole schedule back obviously. But yeah, just wait till you see the new movie that he actually has hands-on, coordination with, and actually has a say into what goes into it. Much unlike the previous film.
Yeah, I mean that was definitely Hollywood, you know, trying to be like Close Encounters, and I don't know. I mean, I actually like Close Encounters way better than Fire in the Sky, but I am looking forward to Travis's production, if you want to call it that.
Yeah,
that'd be excellent.
I mean, you got. I think we both met at the same time. Travis Walton, didn't we? 2016 Contact. Is that the year he was there? I don't know. Did you meet him?
I met him.
Yeah, like when you actually talk to the dude, and not to mention listen to his talks, he's like one of those guys that doesn't know how to lie, if that makes any sense. Like he's such a
Yeah.
nice, genuine sort of guy, and plus there's so much evidence. I mean, everything from we have to get into all of it, but if there's anybody out there that doesn't really buy the whole Travis Walton thing, I don't know. I guess just wait for that new film or go listen to some real interviews with that guy. Whether it's, he's been on every radio show you've probably ever heard. So just look him up, listen to him actually talk. Don't listen to other people that project their own opinions on a story that they weren't there to even have a perspective on. You know what I mean? Pull up some of his interviews where he actually talks.
Yeah, I mean, I actually got to interview him when Joe and I went to the Ozark conference a few years ago. I think it's been about 3 years ago, probably. And we caught up with him and all kinds of different authors, and it was a really good conference. But I remember talking to Travis, and when I looked at him, man, I'm telling you, he was so convincing that when he started talking about everything, I could see like in his eyes, everything looked like he was just like going back to that moment. I don't know if it was terror, if fear, I don't know what it was, but you can tell, hey man, I don't think this guy is making this shit up. He's pretty convinced what happened. So
yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And so are all of his co-workers that were involved in the scene. And as you might remember, that during that time he was gone, they were all main suspects for murdering the guy.
Right. Exactly.
But then he shows back up, and I mean, those guys will attest to it too. And one of I mean, just like any great like real story, there's always going to be your Michael Shermans and your who have you that have nothing but doubt. But the world is strange enough. Maybe a little too strange, but certainly strange enough to where that's actually not that crazy of a story compared to some of the other stuff happening in this world.
I will say I do like the Communion movie better than Fire in the Sky. The Whitley Strieber story with Christopher Walken as Whitley Strieber. You just can't get any better than that.
Yeah, I like Whitney. He's fun guy, fun to talk to. I'm not to be very frank, like I'm not sure if I really I'm not sure if he's interpreting everything the right way, but then again, I don't know. So but I can tell that, but kind of like we we're just saying about Travis, like I can tell that the guy is genuine as far as what he believes. Like he's not trying to bullshit anybody, he's literally genuinely talking about what he really believes went on, so it's another guy a lot of respect for.
100%.
Pretty good book. So what else is going on, Pat? What's going on in your neck of the woods or your universe? If you want to go there.
Man, I live in the country, dude. All we got is cows, man, and that's about it. Trucks.
That's awesome.
The last time you did some good old fashioned cow tipping.
Oh, dude, I ain't done that in years. I'm not saying I did it back then either.
I was
That
gonna
would
say
be
the
wrong.
fact that he said that he
You
hasn't done
kind
it
of
in
just
years.
did admit that you did. So,
That's awesome.
No, do you guys remember G-Force?
I was just looking at that.
Gotcha, man.
Gotcha, man.
Great stuff. It's my all-time favorite Japanimation anime.
Tiny, Keop, Mark.
Mhm.
Where is
Yeah,
that?
it was.
uh,
The actual Japanese version was a lot better than the Battle of the Planets version. It was originally released in 1972. A lot more adult-oriented storylines and everything. You know, Battle of the Planets G-Force was more for kids. I did watch that growing up too when I was in kindergarten era and everything. But that's my all-time favorite anime. I love that show. Gotcha Man 2 and Gotcha Man Fighter are great also.
Anybody
Did
else
they-
get like into Doctor Who, the old ones with like Peter Davison
Oh, yeah.
and stuff, Tom Baker?
Yeah,
Oh yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yes,
yeah,
definitely.
it's good stuff.
Yeah, I think they're going to call it quits on Doctor Who now, considering
He
what's her
turned
name
into
did-
a girl. Yeah.
Yeah.
See, that's the thing, man. The comic books too, man. They keep changing stuff just to suit what's going on now, and it's just that's why I don't even get into stuff anymore, man. I quit watching a lot of that stuff, and I was like, okay, I'm done. That's the only way you stand up against it. If everybody stops getting woke and just says, okay, fine, I'm not going to watch it. Look at basketball. Look at the ratings. Ratings for everything. You know, that's how you stand up against all this crap. Plus, dude, movies and Hollywood. All they're doing is just rehashing. It's like they have nothing new. It's
They
all
don't.
just rehash stuff.
They don't.
yeah, they're not willing to take any risks for new brilliant ideas. They'd rather just make, Bill and Ted's fucking stupid adventure number 8, rather than something that's
Hey, that
fucking-
was some bullshit in there too, because their daughters took over or something like that. I mean, it just never ends, man. I mean, they try to sneak it in just in everything now. I mean, I'm not. Am I over exaggerating? I mean, seriously,
No,
anyone
dude,
out
it's all the
there?
programming.
yeah, you're right.
Anyone
on
out
point.
there? I know Night Stalker probably thinks I'm over exaggerating. That's fine. I mean, I welcome anyone's opinion. But yeah, I mean, it just seems like it's all fucking going to shit, especially after the Ghostbusters movie with the whole girl cast. That was terrible. I'm sorry. Girls or no girls, that one sucked big time.
Yeah, it's just and that's another one of the things. You might hesitate to say that the movie sucked, even though it did suck, but because of the all-female cast, you don't be the anti feminist, right? So you gotta be like, oh yeah, it's okay, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, because God forbid they could cancel you for that.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, I can't wait till somebody tries to cancel me. I'll just fire right the fuck back.
So here you go, guys. Here's a little gotcha man for you.
Great music.
Jeez, I remember this stuff. I mean, it's just crazy. I don't know. The animation still looks good to me. It holds up, in my opinion. There you go. So a little bit of gotcha man for you guys.
Yeah, Dave, I'll have to dig it out and show it to you sometime. I've got the old. You remember the jet in that movie, the show, The Phoenix? I've got a die-cast Phoenix. It's got the Firebird overlay over it. It's really cool.
Right on. Yeah, definitely got to check that out. Does anyone remember
Yeah.
Shogun Warriors?
Yeah, I've got
Oh,
a ton
yeah.
of those too.
Hell yeah.
Man, they were the shit.
Dude,
I don't think they ever made it into like a cartoon or anime, but the comic books were pretty cool, and the action figures were dope. I had like 2 of the fucking big robots, and they were big too. They
Yeah,
were
a
big
buddy
as-
of mine had
Yeah.
them. They're like
Uh-huh.
2
Yeah.
3 foot tall, man. They were great.
Yeah, man, and they shot like rockets and shit too.
Yeah, but do you
They were
remember when they
actual-
first came out? They let them shoot the rockets and the hand off of it, but then all of a sudden we had to worry about kids.
Yeah.
I know they actually made a game for it for the Saturn, but I think it only came out in Japan, so we didn't really.
Yeah, and the thing is with Shogun Warriors, that was an Americanized version of all the super robots. Because in the 70s in Japan, you had the super robot craze. You had Raideen, you had Great Mazinger, you had Mazinger Z, you had Getter Robo, Deimos, Combattler V, all that stuff. Voltus V, Voltus 5 rather. But they were all separate TV shows, and they would run like a season of all those super robots would run like 50 to 100 episodes. So it's really cool. But I remember the Marvel comic book back in the 70s. That was a great comic book. I loved it.
Pretty damn
I got
good.
hooked on comics because my uncle used to have Unknown Soldier.
Unknown Soldier. Refresh my memory on that, Elf.
It was a guy that fought for the Americans, but his face was taped up, and he could always disguise himself as somebody else.
That sounds really familiar.
Look it up, Google it sometime and check it out, because you may have seen it. I don't know. Like I said, back when I was watching comics, man, it was like, the original stuff, the ones, the old war ones and things like that. But I will say one thing, man. I just got to get this off my chest. The world got really fucked up right after they took cartoons off on Saturdays. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
And if you think
You're
I'm wrong,
100%
prove me
correct.
wrong.
No, I agree.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think
Yeah.
there's a direct correlation there. And even if there are cartoons on Saturdays still, they're certainly not the same shit. Like,
Oh, no, dude. When you got up in the morning, you were up at like 6 o'clock. You watched Long Ranger, and then all of a sudden the other cartoons would start coming on, man. And you had Sid Croft's Magic Hour, whatever the hell it was, You had the Wonder Race. Man, there was so much good stuff, man. Schoolhouse Rocks.
dude,
and you did that till about
Speed
lunchtime,
Racer-
and then you got kicked out of the house, go out there and play. And that was it, But that was Saturdays, man.
Yeah, that's
I
where.
remember that shit started happening.
Yeah, Speed Racer. You're right, Gigi. That was part of
a
Saturday
great one.
morning.
And I remember like kind of around when that started dying, I don't know. I had the kind of parents that, when I was like 4 years old, they bought me the Genesis version of Mortal Kombat, with all the blood in it. And then I had Street Fighter. I don't know. Like I remember going to my friend's place, maybe 4 or 5 years old. And so we're playing Mortal Kombat. And like, I didn't understand that violence was a problem or something. And she was like, oh no, we don't, you can't, we don't do that in this house. You can't do that. I was like, oh, that's fine. Okay, too much blood. All right, I'll put in Street Fighter. And then, of course, same reaction. Like, no, what are you not getting? Like, no violence here. I was like, what do you mean? There's no blood. Like, what the hell? So next thing you know, we're playing Mario Paint, right? And this is when I was 5 years old. It's like, man, I
Man,
don't
look
know.
back when they were doing remember, was it in the 80s or 90s when they started going off on music, the heavy metal people and all that stuff? They were saying,
Oh, yeah.
that's all evil. But now look at rap. I mean, I look at rap now and listen to that, and I'm like, holy shit.
It's a lot more evil.